Hello, it's been a while since I made a video, and I thought for this video I should actually explain more about BPD, the disorder I was diagnosed with last year. It feels weird to say last year now because it's only just begun, this one. Anyways, let's get on with it. There are 9 symptoms of borderline personality disorder, and those are fear of rejection, low self-esteem, extreme emotional instability, explosive anger, unstable relationships, impulsive decisions, self-harm and disassociation. Now, I don't think I suffer from a fear of rejection or abandonment, but I'm guessing I might do, but I'm not conscious of it. But all the rest of it I have experienced at some time in my life, or I do experience now, and I recently started DBT. That's how I got the idea for this video. And if you don't know what DBT is, it's dialectical behaviour therapy. It's a bit like CBT, but this focuses more on your behaviours rather than your thoughts, which is what CBT is about. I'll explain more about it as I go through the DBT, because obviously I've just started, and what we're doing this week is mindfulness, which I've already done with the pain management clinic, so I already know a lot about mindfulness, but it's about being in the present moment, which is really hard for people with BPD. As I mentioned, disassociation is one of the main symptoms of it, which I do suffer with. I have an imaginary land in my head that I like to go off to quite frequently to deal with the stresses of everyday life, and being an adult is very stressful, obviously. I'm going to go into more detail now. A strong fear of abandonment. This includes going to extreme measures so you're not separated or rejected, even if these fears are made up. Now, as I said, I don't think I suffer from a fear of abandonment. I mean, I've been abandoned so many times in my life. I think I've got used to it by now. So I don't think it bothers me. A pattern of unstable, intense relationships, such as believing someone is perfect one moment and then suddenly believing the person doesn't care enough or is cruel. This I have suffered with. There was one particular person who I constantly said they didn't care about me, but I think it was just a combination of my disorders and their disorders didn't work well together. Another thing I experience is quick changes in how you see yourself. This includes shifting goals and values, as well as seeing yourself as bad or as if you don't exist. I've dealt with feeling like I don't exist quite a lot, and honestly at times I wanted to not exist. There are periods of stress-related paranoia and loss of contact with reality. These periods can last from a few minutes to a few hours. I experienced full-blown psychosis several times now, and it tends to crop up when I have a physical illness like an infection, which I've suffered with on and off. I've had chest infections, I had tonsillitis and a tonsillectomy. If you want me to talk more about that, I can make a video on that. Leave a comment if you want to hear more about that. Impulsive and risky behaviour such as gambling, dangerous driving, unsafe sex, spending sprees, binge eating, drug misuse, or sabotaging success by suddenly quitting a good job or ending a positive relationship. Yep. I'm very, very impulsive. I've been trying to fight off impulses to dye my hair and get a piercing recently, and I know it's not impulsive when I think about it for a long time, but the impulse over time is getting stronger and stronger to the point where I might spend the money on a piercing, say, and then I don't actually have that money, and then I'll be struggling for food the rest of the month or something. I've experienced spending sprees as well, and if you can't tell, I am overweight. So I have experienced binge eating, and that is something that I don't suffer with too badly anymore. I'm hoping this year to lose quite a lot of weight, and I'm fully committed to doing that. Threats of suicide or self-injury, often in response to fears of separation or rejection. I've never threatened self-harm. I've had someone do that to me, which was very distressful, and I didn't know how to deal with it, so I sort of disassociated during that. When I was a teenager, I would sort of allude to the fact that I wanted to end my life, and then I wouldn't answer the phone for a while, and that totally wasn't fair on the people that had to deal with that, and I am very, very sorry if you are one of those people watching this video. I couldn't help it. I have a disorder, and I've learned over time how to cope with it and how to not be that way anymore. Another characteristic is wide mood swings that last from a few hours to a few days. These mood swings can include periods of being very happy, irritable, or anxious, or feeling shame. I have been in what I would describe as a mania, where I've been so happy and everything feels perfect. And then I can swing desperately to the opposite of that, feeling that life's not worth living and stuff like that. Ongoing feelings of emptiness is another thing that I deal with quite badly. That's why I try to fill my life with things that give my life meaning, like rescuing animals. I'm going to start crying if I talk about animals anymore, because I've lost quite a few last year. If you didn't know, I had 4 animals pass away, which has been quite difficult, and it's why I haven't uploaded or had any ideas for videos. I've just been dealing with a lot of grief. Another characteristic is inappropriate, strong anger, such as losing your temper, often being sarcastic or bitter, or physically fighting, which is stuff that I've done. My anger has been something that I've tried to get under control, but there are times where I've slipped up and anger has gotten the better of me. And sometimes I can be quite irritable and I don't know why, and I feel quite a lot of shame when I'm irritable and there's no explanation for it. What's it like to live with BPD? Your experience of living with BPD is unique to you, but this page describes some common experiences that you might recognise. Difficult feelings and behaviour towards yourself, difficult feelings and behaviour towards others, problems with drugs or alcohol, BPD and other mental health problems that come with BPD, like anxiety and BPD, are usually like clustered together. You can have one and also have the other at the same time. Like, I'm diagnosed with GAD, generalised anxiety disorder, and I went through CBT for that, so I know all about CBT already. And there's also facing the stigma about BPD, because there's a lot of things on the internet and a lot of things on TikTok that make us seem terrible, and a lot of that is not the truth, because everyone's experience is unique, and no one person is the face of everyone with the disorder, if you get what I mean. How you might think or feel: lonely, overwhelmed by the strength of your emotions and how quickly they change, like there's something inherently wrong with you and that it's your fault if bad things happen to you because you deserve them, like you're a bad person or not a real person at all, that you don't know what you want from life or what you feel you like or dislike, empty, numb, or like you have no purpose, like your feelings are impossible to understand or describe, like you're a child in an adult world. Those are all things that I deal with, except for the loneliness. I don't know why, but I don't seldom get lonely. I love being by myself. It's oddly comforting to me. How you might behave as a result of those difficult feelings, self-harm or attempting to end your life, overspending or binge eating, using recreational drugs, alcohol or smoking to try to cope with your emotions, quitting just before achieving something, or avoiding activities where you think you might fail or be disappointed, often changing jobs, hobbies, goals or plans, keeping very busy so you're never alone. And those are all things that I've dealt with or currently deal with. I've been quite open about the fact that I used to smoke, and I've been on the quitting journey for nearly a year now, and some days are better than others, but sorry about that, my phone is really loud for some reason. How you might think or feel that friends or partners will leave you forever if they're angry or upset with you, that people are judging or thinking badly about you, like no one understands you or you're not like other people and will never be able to understand them, that people are either completely perfect and kind or bad and hurtful and there's no middle ground. This is sometimes called splitting or black and white thinking. Wanting to be close to others but also feeling scared of close relationships, like the world is a scary and dangerous place and you want to run away and hide. All things that I've dealt with. I'm so worried about people getting upset with me that I'm trying to be the best that I can be in all relationships that I have at the moment, but I am a sarcastic fucker, to be honest. So I'm trying not to misstep with anybody. There are some times where I think people are judging me, and most of the time they just like my wigs. But I am an alternative person, so I do face a bit of discrimination when I do go out from people that don't understand alternative people. But that's to be expected, to be honest. We live in a society. I feel quite alone in the way that I am, and I feel like nobody really understands, but that's not true. There are people that do understand me, and some people that understand me pretty well. One of my best friends, they fit more of the characteristics of BPD than I do, which is very weird because they're not diagnosed with it. They're diagnosed with DID and stuff like that. But I think there's an overlap between symptoms, honestly, with disorders like that. Personality disorders as well, they will have overlapping qualities. Anyway, let's move on. How you might behave as a result of everything that I just went through. Getting very angry or frustrated with people, struggling to trust people, having unrealistic expectations of people or contacting them very frequently, wanting to be close to people but worrying they'll leave or reject you, and so avoiding or pushing them away, spending a lot of time thinking or worrying about things that other people say or do, asking for lots of reassurance or testing people's commitment or opinion of you, distancing yourself from people or ending relationships with friends or partners because you think they might leave you, anxiously looking out for signs that people might reject you. Shall we go through that list? I do get angry and frustrated with people, but I've learnt to get that under control in most cases. but there are things that will trigger me to anger, and hopefully DBT will help me to not get angry at those things that trigger me. I do struggle to trust people, although I am very open about my story and about my life, so if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll answer, because I'm quite open about my experiences in life, and I'm sitting here telling you about my BPD right now. So I don't contact people very frequently, but I do crave to have closeness, and you know, I have a best friend and we talk literally all day, from morning, sometimes in the middle of the night. Like last night I was up quite a lot because I struggle to sleep. That's another thing with BPD, is struggling to sleep. And I have been put on medication for the sleep struggles, and I didn't take any last night because I wanted to stay up. I don't know why. It's not good for me and it makes me tired, so I really shouldn't stay up. But anyways, I think I'm going to stop talking for now because my voice is getting kind of hoarse. So I hope you have a good day, good week, good month and good year, and I'll see you soon when I have another video idea. Or if you have any ideas for videos, please leave a comment and tell me what you want me to talk about next. I would really appreciate that. Thank you.